YouTube. So one thing about this natural light is that it's gonna get you all the way together. But it's been a minute, and I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad that you guys clicked on this video, and I'm so appreciative of my new followers. We are almost to 500. I cannot tell you how much it means to me. And I want to share something really quick before I zip out the house for yoga class in 30 minutes. So this is gonna kind of come full circle, but I have a little example. We were in the store in Autumn. That's my daughter, my oldest daughter. She wanted to wear these like horrendous. They were cute. The style was cute, but they were very high. They were like 3-inch heels. And the first heels were like 1.5 inches, and the second heels were 3 inches. And she's like, "Mom, please." And in that moment, I was like, now I can deny her and say no, because you can't walk in these heels. You're too young for this style. You're not old enough. This, that, and the other. When you're 16, I could go on and on and on. And she's going to pout, and she's going to resent me, and she's going to feel denied. And in her mind, she's always going to wonder why I was so mean. And I said, okay, try them on. And it was almost 5 minutes her trying to get the buckle laced around her ankle. And I said, now if you're gonna wear heels, you gotta know how to put them on. She was like, well, I'm trying. And I said, okay, well, we're waiting. And then she got up and she looked like a baby giraffe, just wobbling everywhere, hunched over. And it was a laughable moment. It wasn't anything too serious, but there was another woman in the aisle who was like, she was kind of watching. I said, well, so Autumn, I said, walk down the road. Let me see how you walk, and then walk back. We do this with all, and whenever, whatever shoe we're buying, press the front of the toe in. How does it feel? Is your foot, all the shoe trying on things. But I said, you got to be able to walk in them, even if you were going to get them, because we're going to the ballet. And so she wanted something dressy, which I understand. But I love that we were able to have this moment, this woman and I, who turns out she lives down near my parents. We had some other things in common, but she was like, oh yeah, I had girls. I know exactly how it is. And you're right. Let her see what you're talking about. Let her experience, not in a painful throw her under the bus way, but just a, teachable moment of like, I'm telling, this is why I'm saying this. This is why I need you to trust me and understand, so that you can connect the dots. Because then she jumped in and she said, oh, okay, Mommy's letting you try on heels. And Anna was like, yeah. And we had this whole conversation, and she was like, well, you got to stand up straight, and no, don't walk too fast. And she helped my daughter to posture herself and to hold your head up, and how to be more graceful and poised. And these were the words that she was using. And I just really appreciate that woman sharing that moment with me, because A, it takes a village. B, kindness goes a long way. Mothers connecting on a subject that is a tale as old as time, as they say. And Raelle, my youngest, was like, can we get your phone number? Can we keep in touch? And she was like, oh, you want to keep in touch with me? And I said, are you an etiquette teacher, or I don't know, a former dancer? And she said, no. I work for the health department, and, my job is varied, whatever. And I said, no, it's something. She said, okay, I used to model years ago. I said, I knew it. She said, but no, that was just a fun little thing that I tried in my younger days. But, yeah, let her experiment with heels, different heel types, because we were showing Autumn wedges, the little chunk, thicker heels that were much lower, maybe like 1/2 inch. And also, too, playing with different styles, because she's such a sneaker girl, and because we used to do those just like little Mary Jane church shoes for special events. Now that she's coming into her own style at 12, I need to meet her halfway. Absolutely, I will meet her halfway. But teaching her in real time, with real time experiences, like, I'm not just talking shit. I'm not just being a mom and denying you. No, I want you to understand why I say what I say. Because when we get to the ballet, we're going to park. There is no valet parking. I already asked. We're going to have to walk inside from the parking lot to inside. There might be an escalator. There might be elevators. There might be stairs. We're already talking 30 minutes. We have to get to our seat. We have to go up to the mezzanine. And if you're going to be sitting there in there trying to take your shoes off, or you know how you kind of cock your foot back on your heel just to get some relief, you're going to have a 2-hour break, I'm sure. But then we're going to get up, walk out, take more pictures, maybe go out to dinner. That's a long night. And I do not want to be waiting for you to put your shoes back on, to lace them back up, help you lace your shoes back up. And it's just this fight all night. And we had a laugh when I was sharing with the lady that we met, Miss PJ, that oh yeah, back in the day I used to buy cheap heels. It did not matter. And I would get to the club, take them shoes off, chuck them in a corner somewhere, or carry them with me all night. My feet are black and ashy, looking ghetto, feet aching, and then gotta sit somewhere and crouch down and lace them back up to giraffe baby walk back to my car and get to the room and just have some relief because your feet are just burning. You know, like, we're not doing that anymore. If you cannot bear the shoes from the car to the venue, they're not your shoes. No, back it up. If you cannot walk in the shoes before you even buy them, they are not your shoes. So the older you get, now we're getting into self-care, self-love, you have to invest in your shoe wear. And when you invest in good quality materials, good quality structure, okay, you might pay $200, but those shoes are going to last you years and years and years. You may need to get the little rubber. If you can imagine a heel has that little, I don't know how to describe it, but I've gotten those little plugs replaced. Okay, so you know the heel doesn't come straight down and hits the ground. It has a little cushion there. All right, or with your leather shoes, you might replace whatever. You might fix it or whatever, but that's a small fee. I've fixed zippers before. I've fixed the buckle. And now I will say for shoes that have a design that I just truly love, I will get the sole replaced. This is my daughter's shoe. I'm just using an example. So let's say I love the top of the shoe and the bottom is a little cheap. So I will replace the bottom of the shoe depending on how much it costs and what they can do. I've extended the life of some of my like more embroidered fabric shoes. But anyway, she's going to, my daughter, and I'm going back to my daughter, she's going to learn this by watching me and seeing me go through life and see that when we go out and we go out to dinner, we go out and do things, mommy's not walking A, like a baby giraffe because her feet hurt. B, she's trying to get some relief off her feet, taking them off, you know, whatever, carrying them around. And C, you know, you want to look pulled together in your shoes. You want your shoes to last you. And so 2 things that I wanted to share from this video. That's the first thing, investing in your shoe care and the type of shoes that you buy, finding your style, finding what works for you, what elongates your leg, what works for your body type. My youngest was like, Mommy knows how to walk in heels because she has hips and she just goes back and forth like this. And I said, no, I'm not that exaggerated. But it did take practice and it did take years of first buying the wrong type of shoes, buying the wrong heels, buying shoes that don't fit, buying shoes that are too tight, saying I can make it work, and no, you can't make it work. But I also wanted to touch on, since the boom of having our devices in our hands and social media at our fingertips, we're constantly like this. We're constantly plugged in our own world. And the pandemic didn't help. But if you can intentionally go out and connect with people, sometimes just as simple making eye contact and, oh, I like that. That looks really good on you. You should get it. You know what I mean? Or what's the occasion? That connection, you may not become best friends. You may not share your life stories or even exchange numbers. But I loved that moment in the store because that woman did not have to take her time. She did not have to share. She did not have to help raise my child. I am being so serious and so deep when I say that, because when I said it takes a village, sometimes it's the little things. You don't have to take her to Girl Scouts. You don't have to tutor her or babysit her, or she's going to forever remember the kindness of that woman giving her a reality check and also seconding what mommy's saying so she can truly understand. Because this woman took her time and was walking down. She's like, come on, come on. Held my daughter's hand and walked down the aisle with her now. And she was, like, okay, now slow down. Da, 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 da. And I just was like watching, like, now if it had been me, she may have received it, but it'd been like, oh, okay, ma, I got it, I got it. And that's just a part of life. I'm not even mad about that, because kids will be kids, but women that come alongside you in life in the little moments, not, like I said, it doesn't have to be anything super deep and prophetic. It is so meaningful, because that is what makes a day special. That is what brightens a day. That is what is something that you carry with you. And that is what something that's like, it just warms your heart, especially this time of year, so when people extend that to you, always be appreciative, because I truly thanked her from the bottom of my heart. I said, thank you so much for just reaching out and helping me. Obviously I'm a younger mom. You have adult children. And she said, I've been there. I know exactly what that's like. And when you have the opportunity to extend that to someone else, do it. Don't feel like, oh, people don't want to be bothered. People are busy, even in a city like New York, where everything's go, go, go and super fast. All my experiences in New York have been, I made real connections with people. I was able to, oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry if I bumped into them in this, rat race of a city. Just little things, in the stores, in the restaurants, where you're just like, oh, I love that drink, looks really good. And people say, oh my goodness, let me tell you about this drink. It's a prickly pear or whatever. Starts a conversation. It just starts sharing just tidbits of you, your personality, and above all, kindness. Another moment I had in New York, this was years ago, but I did share this story, was when I was in the bathroom and I thought the stall was open. I opened the stall and the girl was on the toilet. I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I closed the door and she said, girl, you're fine. It happens. We all got the same thing. And we had a laughable moment. So I found another bathroom to use. And I'm washing my hands and she comes out and she's like, oh, these men. And I said, don't get me started, because it's not about them at the end of the day. It's about what you allow, how you think about yourself, how you teach them how to treat you, and all these things. And so being a life coach, being passionate about self-care and self-love, and I did the work, and, not saying I'm perfect and not saying that, oh, you do the work and you're going to find a dream man, be your own dream woman. And I was able to like, well, what's going on? And she was like, oh, long story short, been with this guy all these years. He wanted to spend it was around the holidays, but it wasn't actually, we hadn't hit Christmas yet, but he wanted to spend some time with the boys instead of her. And I'm like, red flag number 1. He hadn't gotten her a gift, red flag number 2. And, this has been years of this. And I said, basically, don't waste time with a man that is showing you how he feels about you, when you could be blocking A, quality time with yourself and giving yourself what you need, but B, it's like a parking lot. And I did not make this up, but I love this example. I can't remember who said it first, but you might have heard this too. You've got a hoopty in your parking lot. You got to move the hoopty out so the Bugatti or the Rolls Royce or whatever can scooch in, can take that space. Or what's another saying? Don't let your boyfriend or your situationship block you from your husband. And so we had this moment in the bathroom. We were talking for like 10, 15 minutes. I came back to the table and my ex-fiance was like, you okay? You got your stomach upset? You were in the bathroom for a really long time. And I was like, the girl's okay? I was like, oh, no, we're fine. I was in the bathroom, made a new friend, talking about life, girl stuff. And he was like, oh, in New York? I said, yes, in New York. Oh, that's what it was, because she like went back to her table, which was like in the cut. So when she left before me, she's like, girl, bye, thank you so much. And he was like, you know people in New York? I was like, that's who I was talking to in the bathroom. And it's those kind of connections that you never know seeds being planted in someone's life, because I've been there too. Someone has given me a little gem, a little nugget, a little tidbit, and advice, further confirmation. Yes, buy those shoes. Yes, buy that dress. Because when women come together, magical things happen. And even on this big thing we call the internet, when you find women or in real life that kind of ruffle your feathers a little bit and they get you out your comfort zone, is it because you are offended, genuinely offended because your views don't mesh? Or are they calling something out of you because they're pushing you to be your higher self? So if someone is like, that's who you're dating and he did what, and you get defensive, you're like, no, why would you defend that? You see what I'm saying? Why are you envious of someone who has put in the work and is where you would like to be but don't know how to get there? And so now you've got all this resistance, versus being really in the moment, leaning in and saying, I really appreciate your viewpoint. I really appreciate you boosting me and encouraging me to be better, to do more, to accept more, to want more, to know that it's even possible. Excuse me. So all of those things kind of come full circle. And as our young daughters come up, they need to see more of this in the world. And even if it isn't always a day-to-day real interaction, it'll be on social media. It won't be women crying and breaking down about how they allowed someone to treat them. It'll be, look, this is how I totally changed my life. This is how I advanced in my career. This is how I started pouring back into myself, reinvesting in myself. And this is how I started treating myself and honoring myself. And therefore, I called that into my life in every sense of the way. Okay. Thank you for watching. I'm going to yin yoga, and then I'm going to hit the hot tub, and then I'm going to go and tour a women's club. They have a beautiful house, and that's like where their hub is. And so I'm really excited because today's a full day. But I wanted to get on here and share that really quick. I hope this helps someone out there. Thank you again for watching. Until the next one, peace. Bye.